the whole stream in general starts to get negative, not really like fun to watch. And then when someone comes back and they stumble across your channel and they're like, oh, I wonder what this person's like, and they check your VODs and they see on your streams that you've got an attitude or you're moody, or they're like, oh, I don't really want to hang out here. So you've always got to think about what people in the future are going to see of your portfolio, essentially. So that's even something I said at the start of this. I don't know if I said it live or not, but the way I was looking at this is like this podcast in general is there's definitely already been a couple of mess ups, but my main goal is I see everyone in chat and I really wish that I could comment on everything everyone's saying, but when you think about the future viewer of this, to be able to experience the talk rather than feel like they missed out on the social, if that makes sense. I'm not saying don't acknowledge your chat while you're streaming, but find the balance that works for you and know what it is that you're trying to create. That's a huge point here, was basically understand what your goal are, know what it is that you're trying to get across through your stream.
Absolutely.
If you're wanting to take your playthroughs and cut them up and make like funny montages to put on YouTube, keep that in mind and make sure that you're not muting your reactions on stream, because think about the content you want to cut out to create that montage video later. There was one question I wanted to get to in chat because I do think it's kind of important. Also, hi Makatu. Orange Sky asked, could you guys share your stats like follows and how long it took you to get partnered, etc.? Are any of us here partnered streamers?
Not yet.
No.
That's that future goal.
That's a future goal for me.
Yeah. Alex H is my nemesis. Alex, if you're listening.
I'm not a partnered streamer, but we are all affiliates, I believe.
Yes.
We're all we're all Twitch affiliates. And I think that the hunt for partnership is going to get a little bit harder, but follower count and things like that, I feel like follower count isn't as important to Twitch's concurrent viewer count is. And I guess to summarize your question though, I just hit 2,000 followers. I have been streaming.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been streaming a little bit over a year now, and I've had a front page opportunity through a charity event, which was also through my stream team, which is something I would like to touch on too, is joining stream communities and stream teams. And those are sort of my qualifications with as far as this goes. I think I have a pretty strong, pretty awesome community. I've worked really hard to make sure that I have a community feel, and it's not just I don't worry about my follower counts. I worry about my viewer count going up. I worry about the participation in my Discord. I worry about, and it's not even worry, it's just those are the things that I'm more focused on, because if I get 100 follows in one day and my viewer count doesn't change at all, I don't feel like I've actually gained anything as far as my community goes. I know that I have several friends who are partnered streamers. To me, I sort of look at partnership as kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, yes, it would be cool to be a partnered streamer, but at the same time, I don't know if I want the pressure of it. I feel more obligated to do certain things, or to going with what Carice was saying about a schedule. Like, I would feel like I was going to get fired from my job if I didn't hit my schedule. You know, like there's a little bit of a weird feeling I have about partnership that I haven't been pushing for it as hard as I probably could have been. I also think it allows me to be a little bit more creative with my content, not having a partnership, because I'm not like, oh, well, they partnered me because I was a creative streamer, and now if I play Overwatch, I'm going to get fired. Or now if I miss a week of stream, I'm going to get... I don't like to think of it like a job. It stifles the content for me. Anyone else have anything to say?
I'm 100% on board with you. That's almost verbatim what I would say, that how I feel just personally about my channel. but I feel like when it gets there, when I feel like I'm ready for that next level, that's when I'll be able to push it a little bit harder or make those changes to be a partnered streamer and offer things. But there is pressure. There's definitely pressure there, and I believe that it should be quality content. So, yeah.
Affiliates definitely changed all of Twitch, right? Now you guys have
Totally.
subs.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of us should, like, you guys probably have a handful of subs, if not a lot more. That I've seen a lot of people change just because of that, which is like the partnership, like, oh my Jesus, what's going on? Now I have to be here a lot, right? So that's that pressure. I personally, so just to go over like the numbers, I just hit 4,056 followers today.
Hey,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
Nice.
Thank you. We had 4,000 today at like 9 in the morning.
That's awesome.
I average, I'm going to round up 60. It's 59 at the moment. I did have front page experience.
Yeah.
You've
I
been
don't
on front
care
page a
about numbers.
lot. I've seen you on front page probably 4 to 6 times since I've known you.
Why are these wrenches in my chat? What's making me nervous?
Yeah.
I don't look at
I would be petrified.
Touch base on the reason that you were suspended, just so that people
so they
realize what
understand.
happened.
I back to rating and networking. I rated somebody. It's December. We're building a holiday park in Planet Coaster. I rated them and I exited OBS, but OBS failed to crash. So it was streaming my thank you screen for 4 hours after.
That could have been so much more scary, though. Like, your webcam
Right.
was on and you didn't know. Like,
Right. Well, thankfully, I'm in a room. Like, I'm in a studio, so I don't, like, the bedroom is another, you know, it's like my husband, you know, that could be terrible. But I streamed thank you for a couple hours extra, and they're like,
yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I woke up and people like tweeting, like, you're shut down. I'm like, what?
No.
So don't stream thank you. I mean, it's rude to be too polite, according to Twitch. It's hilarious,
just like
but-
thank them for 4 hours. Thank you. Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
love you all, but I can't thank you for 4 hours. But I don't look at viewer count. Discord is fairly active. My advice is if you ever join my Discord, mute it, with the exception of a mention for you or the everyone, because we're really strict with that. As far as like how we do everyone in here, mute it because that's active. It is a bit nerve-wracking when you realize that you have 1,700 people in your chat at like 10 in the morning.
That was how it was for me when I had front pages. Like, I'm used to numbers like between 30 and 60-ish, like just varying depending on what I'm playing, what I'm doing, and how consistent I've been for like a week or two prior to that stream. And when I got the front page spot, it was for a charity event, Stack Up, and I was playing, oh no, Mia, what was the name of that game? Orcs Must Die. Orcs Must Die.
Yeah.
And so I'm used to this like 30-ish, and then I look down and it's like 1,100, and I'm just like, I literally felt like Patrick like walking up to his rock house with all the eyeballs, and he's like, who are these people? Like, that's literally, it's like, it makes me nervous though. It makes me scared because it's like, I don't like it when I see my viewer count go from like say 30 to 60 suddenly, and no one's really talking in chat. I'm like, where did these random 30 people come from? Who are they? And when does the troll raid start? I know there's a bunch of trolls. I know it's about to happen. Like, I get really paranoid when that happens. It usually.
I'm a little shell shocked from that too. Yeah.
And I see a couple of questions coming up. I'm writing down questions as I see them in chat. I would like us to take chat questions at about 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 50 minutes from now. So if you guys want to stick around to get a question answered, or you have something specific, we will definitely be taking questions and responding directly. Then we'll focus fully on chat towards the end of this podcast. But for now, Mia, did you have anything to say as far as like numbers, front page experience, stuff like that?
Yeah, so not so much like with the numbers and front page. I mean, my numbers are still like relatively low. I mean, like depending on the game that you choose, I'd say like it's very, very important, like the game you choose. I've had this constant battle myself between choosing something that I want to play versus choosing something that is just going to pull in numbers. I've noticed like now that I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn, this is something that a lot of people pushed for, and thankfully I'm like really, really enjoying it because the numbers are generally good. That game provides a good amount of interaction, and generally it's interesting and it's a fun game to play. Now, there's other games like you could play every new game on the list that's coming out, but that's kind of like a double-edged sword as well. You're gonna possibly see like growth, but it's like there's a very big chance that your streams is going to be buried underneath like all the other content too. So it's like, I think finding that niche. I mean, like, how do you guys approach, like, I know like Azila, you basically have your like 1 or 2 games which you stick to. I mean, have you experimented with venturing out into other things, or how is that?
I used to do story time on Wednesdays where we were playing games with story-rich environment. I've got something in the works. I can't let it out too much, but it'll be like an evening US type stream that's going to be rare. I do believe in making your streams special. So if you stream 7 days a week, I'll probably tell you that you're doing it wrong, because then I can show up on any day and see you. So if you have a limited number of days, I do 5 days a week for my channel. One on Girl Streamers at the moment. There's another project. I'm just working on too many projects, but
Yeah. I feel
just
that.
make it.
I'm excited for some
special.
stuff coming up.
Make it special. It's like when I was in a band and on tour, right? You're a
Wait,
local band.
You were in a band?
Yeah, I
You're a
was
drummer?
Yes.
That is so cool.
That's
I had
awesome.
no idea.
I was on tour in 2001.
Wow.
Unfortunately, it got cut because of 9/11, but that's a whole
Aw.
story.
Yeah.
I won't down the podcast for that. But in the band. So if you relate a band to streaming, you like hone your craft, and then you go out and you play, and you go back and you hone your craft, you go out and you play, right?
Mhm.
Streaming, you're honing. Honing your craft as you're playing on stage, right? If you keep your stream limited, today, like before we were talking, I streamed 11 hours today.
Wow.
That's like a big deal now. I am full time at it, so it's like, well, it's what I'd probably be at work. But
Mhm.
if you make it special, there's a reason for me to show up, right? Like if you're always there, if you're streaming 18 hours a day, then what moment in that 18 hours is special? I mean, one, you're going to probably kill yourself. Like, 'cause you
Yeah,
should be
no,
going
you're gonna
to-
overwork yourself. You
Right.
need sleep. You need exercise. I was actually talking
Absolutely.
to Mia about this the other day, where I was like, if I'm like, I did a 30-day stream marathon back in April, and I streamed every day in April, and I did a 12-hour stream that month and a 16-hour stream. No, I did two 12-hour
my
streams
God.
that month, and then I had a 16-hour stream like 3 weeks later after my front page spot. And it got to the point where, like, if I was streaming like 6 to 8 hours a day, I would like one of my viewers like one time that week, because they're not going to come in every day because they're like, well, nothing's really new. But if I stream like my stream schedule is definitely cut back now. I'm shooting for 3 days a week, but if I'm streaming less often for a shorter amount of time, more people are going to show up in that small amount of time because they only get to see you 3 times a week instead of like every day. So they're like, oh, well, if she's only on Tuesdays, I'm going to definitely make it out there on Tuesday to say hey or whatever, rather than, well, I can see her any day. This doesn't really matter if I show up today or not. And so working with your schedule, it's basically down to a supply and demand. If there's a high demand for you to be on stream a lot more than 1 day a week, 2 hours, then supply the audience, or else they're going to go somewhere else for content and they might not come back to you for